Whirlwind of a week for our first guest. Just a few days ago, Dame Kelly Holmes came out as gay at the age of 52. And this Sunday night on ITV, she'll be opening up in the most honest of ways. Please welcome Dame Kelly Holmes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well,
Thank you.
So how's your week been?
I feel like I've been in a bit of a bubble because I obviously did this morning, and then I've been at home all week because really everything was guided towards Sunday, which is my documentary. So I didn't want to kind of suddenly go, oh, I've said an announcement, which has been really hard for me, and then suddenly I'm talking about it all the time because it's not me. I'm trying to process, really.
What, I mean, obviously this wasn't something you did on an impulse. What's kind of led up to this decision for you?
Well, as in the documentary, I said, like, I haven't been able to say anything for 34 years for lots of reasons. And it was when my mum passed away just over 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, I knew I had to change. I knew I needed to be me, but I just didn't know how to. So it's taken 4 years to kind of get to the point of knowing it was right. And then I had a really bad breakdown in 2020. I'd had COVID before, and I just thought, one day, as we all are in society, I'm going to die. And I don't want my friends and family being the ones at my funeral saying, it's a shame she couldn't live her life.
Yeah. So you never really had this conversation with your mum. And how do you think she would feel? Do you think she'd be proud of you?
Oh, she'd be so proud, yeah. I mean, she would be so proud because she always said to me, you know, you've got to live your life. But I just said, I don't know how to because of all the restraints that I had put on me from the army and everything else. So it's been really, really difficult. And doing the documentary was so hard. It was really emotional. It's brought up lots of subjects and things over generational changes and social changes is what I want the impact of the doc to be.
What I never realised, to my shame, when you went into the army, it was illegal to be gay in the army. So you had no choice but to keep what must have felt like a secret.
Yeah, you know, I joined when I was 17, so, you know, you're impressionable, you get rules, the army is discipline, and you're told you can't ever have a same-sex relationship. So, of course, that's instilled, but you can't help who you are either.
No.
And I didn't know at the time, but obviously I found out quite quickly that I was obviously gay. So you stop that, but you don't stop who you are. You just have to not speak. And there's almost like a inner language we all give, you know. People know they are, but you don't say it, you know. You find your mates because you feel it, but you just don't say it. And then what people forget is that during my army career, I became an international athlete. I became a world-class athlete. I was still in the army. You know, people have said to me about, you know, well, you could have said something, why now? And I'm like, I would have loved to have been able to be me 30 years ago, 20 years ago. Don't give, you know, I would have loved to just live my life, but I couldn't.
You know, Kelly, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without it being taken the wrong way, you know, because I've got family members and friends who are from the LGBTQ community. And we talk about, you know, the process of coming out. And I suppose, do you feel like this, you know, stage of coming out is more about empowerment, or is it still making a statement that people from the LBG community are seen as different? And in from 2022, shouldn't it be that everybody's just the same? We don't have to define what our sexuality is? Yeah,
I mean, for me personally, it wasn't really about coming out. It was about freeing myself, because I haven't been able to say anything for lots of reasons that the doc covers. We are in 2022, and there are a lot of people that say, oh, well, no one matters anymore. Well, you have to remember there's hundreds and thousands of people like me that it has mattered to. We've gone through generations of change where it did matter. There was a lot of stigmatism, there was a lot of hatred, there was a lot of abuse, and people can't just suddenly change just because the new generation are in a lucky place. And the other thing I'd probably say to people, not to be disrespectful, but the younger generation who can live their life, I love it. It's brilliant. But you have to understand that people before you have fought, lost careers, lost lives, like literally, like lost everything, family members, because they couldn't ever do that before. And you're living your life freely because people before you have fought for you and fought for this moment.
And being a minority, you've already fought so many things. To now add another thing feels like you're carrying so much weight with you every time you talk.
And at what age did you start realising that?
I joined the army and I met somebody in the army And clearly then I thought, oh, I must be gay. I didn't know before I joined, because again, you know, that was 1987. At school, sex education was blowing up condoms and letting them fly around the room, you know. You didn't...
It's great fun, that.
Well, you know, there was nothing to relate to.
Were
I didn't have role
you able to share it
models.
with anyone then? I mean, did you not write to your dad?
When I was in the army, I wrote to my dad, and I sort of said, I think I'm gay, because I didn't really know what to say. And it was letters then, not texts, you know. Yeah. And he just said, well, just be happy. Who cares? That was lovely, but then I still didn't tell anyone in my family till I was 27, when I left the army. Right. And then it was all hush-hush, because, of course, I was an international athlete. Yeah. The documentary covers the real reason why it's been so difficult, because when you have fear, and this could be anything, not just LGBT, when you have fear in your life, fear of retribution, fear of comeback, fear of something that you don't know there's actually a good answer, and you're scared of even asking the question, is it going to be OK? You don't just live your life freely. You know, people say about assumption is not freeing. It doesn't matter if you believe that I was or people thought I was, that's OK to do it. But me saying it, and I'm scared to say it, is another thing. Yeah. And you assuming it doesn't free my life.
Do you think, were the people in the industry that you confided in that supported you along the way? I mean, what was their advice to you when you you must have had some friends in the, athletics industry, maybe?
So in athletics, didn't ever speak about it. I've literally only told Sally Gunnell at the Jubilee. Because I said, look, I've got a doc coming out. I need to tell you this, because I've known Sally Gunnell since 1993. I never told anyone in sport. Again, they may well have assumed it, but I had no role models myself in sport. No one talked about being gay. As far as I'm concerned, no one was. And still I had this thing in my head that if I say something, I could still be in trouble by the army.
Right.
You know, you have... It's been that
and
embedded in me.
how have the army been?
The army are brilliant now. They are the best industry to support diversity. Like, literally, since the ban got lifted in 2000, they are absolutely, and it shows the journey on my doc as well, the kind of curve of my life and what it is now. It even shocked me. You know, they march at Pride, and I was like, what?
Really?
What do you mean you march at Pride?
Kelly, will you be at Pride this year?
Well, I can't say. I've never been to Pride.
Oh, of course you have to. We'll bring you.
I think I will be, but I can't really say too much about it.
OK.
I might be seeing you later, though.
Yeah. Oh, God, stay away. So what has this given you?
It's given me a chance to live my life, truly live my life, you know. The other difference is that I am in the public eye. I'm a dame, I'm an honorary colonel with the Royal Armoured Corps, I'm a double Olympic champion. These things aren't just me sort of sitting there going, oh, whatever, you know, and that's... each part of my life, I feel like I had a barrier because I was worried about the first part, the army. So it's given me the chance to, hopefully, like, authentically live my life, but also to... I'm never going to be the voice that can... There's many great people before me that have fought for the cause. But I also believe that, I hope, that people respect me enough to have a powerful voice to talk about changes needed to be made. Yeah. You know, I really believe we have a right to stand side by side. Like, I have a right as a gay woman to stand side by side by you, and everybody has that right. And I want to learn a lot more about the community, because I don't honestly know enough. Like I said, I've never been to Pride, I never even mentioned it, we're scared of somebody going, oh, you
Kelly,
must be...
we are going to learn so much more about you on Sunday night. The documentary's at 9 o'clock on ITV. It's been a real privilege to have you here. All right, OK.